I'm Dave Cook, and I'm working with the course marking crews, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the course and try to tell you a little bit about the markings, and so you can follow the markings. As you may have heard already, the course covers roads, different types of trails, including paved asphalt multi-use trails, crushed limestone, towpath trails, dirt single track, and also bridle trails. The course primarily follows the Buckeye Trail, and the Buckeye Trail is marked with blue blazes. You also need to know that the course deviates from the Buckeye Trail. If you follow the Buckeye Trail blue blazes blindly, you probably won't get too far off course, but you may wind up running longer or shorter than the actual race. So you can watch the blue blazes, but don't rely on those for the course markings. The first section of the course is on the roads, as you're aware of, and it's primarily marked with safety cones and glow sticks. Once you get to the polo fields in Chagrin, you're going to start seeing the trail marking, the different types of trail markings. The trail portion of the course is marked with three different types of markers to provide backup. The first thing you're going to see, the primary markings, are wooden stakes with yellow pie plates. The pie plates have red reflective arrows on them, and they're going to show you the direction that you're going to take at any intersection. All the yellow pie plates that we use on the course will be marked with BR100 for Burning River 100. There may be other pie plates out there for other groups that are using the course for different events, but you need to just follow the yellow pie plates with the BR100 logo. As I mentioned, you're going to have at every intersection on the trail, whether it's a Y intersection, a T intersection, or a cross intersection, there's going to be a pie plate, and it's going to tell you whether you're going to turn left, turn right, or go straight through the intersection. Once you get through the intersection, there's going to be most likely going to be another pie plate slightly 10 or 15 feet down the trail as a confidence marker to show you that you went the right way. In addition to the pie plates, we're going to have reflective flags, and these reflective flags are orange and silver diagonal stripes. The flags will be about 12 to 14 inches off the ground, and they're going to be used as confidence markers along most of the long trail sections. You should see the yellow flags about every quarter mile or third of a mile down the trail, and if you don't see an orange and silver flag on the trail about every 5 or 10 minutes, you need to stop and think, because you may have gone the wrong way. So just pay attention for those reflective flags, and you shouldn't have any problem. We're also going to use those reflective flags to indicate an intersection's coming up. You should see approaching every intersection, you should see two flags about 2 to 3 feet apart, and again, that's going to indicate that you need to think about an intersection coming up, and you need to pay attention. And again, when you see those two orange and silver stripe flags, look for the pie plates, because you need to pay attention. The third thing we're going to use for marking will be the ground. The third thing we're going to use for marking the course will be marking lime. At every intersection, again, there's going to be white arrows on the ground prior to the intersection that show you the way forward. Whether you turn left, right, or straight, there'll be an arrow that shows you the way. And again, as you get past the intersection and go down the trail the correct way, you should see a confidence marker, another white lime arrow on the ground to show you that you went the right way. In general, the markers will all be placed on the right side of the trail and the road. That's going to give you another indication that you're going in the right direction. If you start seeing markers on the left side of the course, you need to stop and think about where you're at and what direction you're headed, because you could be headed in the wrong direction. So look for the markers on the right side of the course. We do deviate from marking the right side of the course in a couple of places. On most low-traveled roads, we're going to mark the course on the left-hand side of the road, or on the right-hand side of the road, sorry. On most low-traffic roads, we're going to mark the course on the right-hand side of the road. On high-traffic roads where you need to pay attention to traffic, we're going to mark the course on the left-hand side of the road. So just be aware that in general, the markers will be on the right-hand side. After dark, we're going to provide glow sticks to some of the aid stations to mark some of the entrances and exits from the aid stations. Don't rely on the glow sticks throughout the entire course in the dark, but there may be some out there, and but again, they're not the primary markings for the course. When you get down to Brecksville, I think someone else had mentioned, when you get down to Brecksville, we're going to be sharing the trail with I'll start over there. The bridle trails in Brecksville, which start after the Station Road Bridge, will be marked with some additional signs which are going to remind you to use caution around the horses. This trail is pretty heavily traveled. There's multi-use trails, and you're most likely going to encounter horses this week, race weekend. There is a horse event in Brecksville on Saturday, and there will most likely be some trail riding going on. Our race permits don't grant us any special claim to the trail or priority over use of the trail. So we ask that when you do see a horse, you need to start walking when you get in the vicinity of a horse and rider. If you come up from behind a horse and rider, notify the rider what your intentions are. If you want to pass, tell them you want to pass and wait for them to acknowledge you. We've had problems in the past with horses, and we've tried to work with the various horsemen's groups in Brecksville area, and we've gotten their cooperation, and we want your cooperation to make sure that we share this part of the trail, and it's there for everyone to share and enjoy. While the course is pretty well marked with the 3 markers, the pie plates, the orange flags, and the marking lime, we have had incidents where kids have taken markers away from the course. And we've also we can't control the weather, so some of the lime arrows may get washed away. Whatever happens, we're going to do our best to provide a well-marked course and touch it up on race day as needed. If you do find areas that do need to be touched up, please let the aid stations know at the next aid station, and we will have marking supplies on hand so that they can touch it up for the next person. While we are going to mark the course as well as we can, like I said, we can't control the weather or what people will do to our markers. The bottom line is that it's your responsibility to know the course and to navigate the course from start to finish. So if you haven't seen a course marker for 5 or 10 minutes, you're most likely off course, and you need to stop and think about where you're at. And if you do this, you probably won't get too far off course, and you can get back on course and back on the trail. So anyway, I hope you have a good last month of training, and when you get to the race, good luck and have fun.